Hello, hello Gemini. Welcome to your December 2018 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Gemini. And while I'm pulling these oracle cards, just go ahead and tune in if there's anything that you need to hear today, any answers that you're looking for. Just go ahead and set your intention. And I also want to let you guys know that I did redo quite a bit of my website, so go ahead and check that out. I've added a few new spreads and everything like that, so you are welcome to take a look, and let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing coming up for Gemini is authenticity is magnetic. So since you guys are really gifted communicators, it's important that the message that you're conveying is in alignment with you, like with what you desire, what feels good to you, what feels true to you. And the more that you're able to step into your authentic self, the right people are going to be magnetically drawn towards you. So this is not the time to stifle your communication. It's a time to really embrace it. And then these are for family. So whatever your situation is with family, this is just some advice and affirmation for you there. Patience. Patience is one of my favorite of my virtues, whether I realize it or not. And I call on it now to soothe my nerves and bolster my stamina. When a trigger arises, I will smile at how unaffected I am. I'm about to display such a magnitude of patience. My in-laws won't even recognize me, but if they do, I have that backup pirate disguise in the closet. Okay, so being patient not only with people that you consider family or whatever that situation is for you, but also with yourself. In being patient with yourself when you get frustrated, remember that there's nothing wrong with you for having reactions. It's just about what you do with it, or like a response. You know, maybe give yourself some time before you dive into a response. And then we have your light. The brighter you shine, the more you allow yourself to be seen, the easier it is for the right people to find you. This is its reading is very similar to authenticity is magnetic. Let yourself go here with your light. Just be your big, bold self, and that's going to be the best rule of thumb for December. All right, central energy for you this month. Ace of Chalices, take good care of yourself. Nourish your body, nourish your mind. This is all about feeding yourself and filling your cup. Consider that what you give to others can only be what you're overflowing in yourself, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like if you have a full cup, only the parts that are overflowing are what you can give to others. If you're bleeding yourself dry, then you're going to be a magnet for narcissists. So watch out for that, because narcissists need people to bleed themselves dry. So by taking really good care of yourself, it's a natural repellent to unhealthy connections, opportunities, and relationships. It allows you to set better boundaries. It allows you to really honor yourself in a lot of ways that may not totally makes sense right now. So it's a lot more than just, oh, take care of yourself, because everyone says that. No, it's much greater than that. The crossing energy for you is the Six of Swords, moving into a new state, a new way of being, a new adventure. This is also, I like the idea that it's kind of like from going from a dark period or an unstable period into a more grounded time, a more stable time. So you are finding stability, but it's conditional on how you're treating yourself. What you have shifting out in December is the Nine of Chalices. I think there's a lot of things that you've been manifesting that are kind of coming to the surface, right? Now, I also want to be really clear about this. If you were not intentional here, if you are not intentional in what's occupying the spaces that you've created, if you're not being intentional with any of this, then anything goes. Your subconscious can manifest, your fears can manifest, all of these things can manifest. So it's not going to be stable necessarily. It's really about you manifesting what you believe and what you embody. And so that's the one stipulation on this, is it's not so much like, oh, all the things that you want are happening. That's a grotesque oversimplification of what this energy is. The Nine of Chalices is about wishes being fulfilled, but if you haven't done the work, if you haven't done the internal work, if you haven't done the energetic work, it makes it a lot harder when you have fears that are getting in the way, or limiting beliefs that are getting in the way. So make sure you're continuing to do work on this, because as this shifts out, you're going to be communicating what it is that you want to have happen in your life. Because you're in the driver's seat, you're in control of the types of things that are coming into your life. So let that be something that empowers you to be more intentional with it. The oncoming energy is the Four of Wands. Things are really starting to come together. This is also the card of home. Taking really good care of your physical space, your environment. This is like a cozy card that's popping up. So the Four of Wands is just that energy that reminds you to hold on, I'm listening. It's kind of like the, not solidification, your environment is in transition is what it looks like. So this here, it could be something where things become more stable. It could be something where you're just feeling more at home mentally. But this is really about kind of having a reason to celebrate and enjoying this space that you're in. And remember, this is oncoming. So this is something that you create. This is something that you're cultivating for yourself. The outward manifestation is the Star. So things really falling into place behind the scenes. The Star is like one of the best cards that you can get. And the frustrating part about this is that you can't see it. Like, you can't peek around every corner. You can't know exactly what's going on with the Star at all times. It requires you to trust a lot. And so it's kind of like your belief systems have to be dialed in this month. And it's not something where you can be really laid back and just kind of let it go. This is a really important time for you to be mindful of what you're communicating energetically. Where are you putting your thoughts? Where are you putting your beliefs? Where are you putting your energy? You need to be intentional with what you're asking for. You need to be intentional with any pity parties that you're throwing for yourself. Because I mean, remember, if that's the story you're running, then that is what you'll get. But the more you trust in good things, in the things that you desire to create, that's really what's going to help them manifest. In the subconscious, Page of Wands. So you have plenty of energy to go around. I'm also going to clarify this card. Six of Pentacles. So your energy levels are totally dependent on what you're giving to yourself. It's a matter of reciprocity. You're going to get what you give energetically, so be mindful of this. It looks like your engine, so to speak, is good, but it's just about nurturing it. It's just about taking care of things as you go through this. So 6 Pentacles looks good. It's all about the give and take, but you're doing that more so with yourself. Pay really close attention to when you feel an increase in energy and when you feel yourself getting depleted. The advice for you in December is the 7 of Pentacles. Cast a wide net. If something doesn't work, try something different. This is not the time to throw out ideas or throw away opportunities or say no and limit yourself on a lot of things. It's a time to expand. And the more you're feeding yourself, the more you can expand. So let yourself kind of look at all the different things that you have coming up here. And you're the one who's creating these opportunities, right? It's something that you're doing for yourself. The external influences, we have the 8 of Chalices. So again, the way you're looking at things, kind of being able to cut through the noise. And while the material world is kind of, well, it's a manifestation of many things, but the more you work on yourself, the better things are going to be in the external. It's just a consequence of you really digging in. And the more that you change your perception and what you're saying about things, it seems like language is also one of the drivers in all of this. Like what you're saying about it. Authenticity is magic in your light, but it's kind of like if you're full of complaints, gossip, and tearing down people's dreams, then I mean, what do you expect? Like, that's just like attracts like. So make sure that you are being really conscientious of your words and what you're speaking into form. Hopes and fears. The Sun. So there's a piece of this where it's like, yes, 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 good things are happening, but are they all going to fall apart? And it's mostly because of the imagery in this card. It's, you know, really vibrant and you have all that energy, but it's just about the sustainability of it. And that's something that I want to remind you, you cultivate that. It's not concrete. It's something that is stemming from the fire that you have inside yourself. So let this be something that really supports you, and that you can kind of lean on sustainability and hope and being able to monitor your energy through giving to yourself. And that's what's going to help this carry forward rather than crash and burn. The outcome of December, you have the Knight of Wands. So there's some progression here. You have the Page of Wands sitting in the subconscious, and then you have the Knight of Wands sitting in the outcome position. I'm going to clarify this one as well. Page of Swords. So like there's this fearlessness about both of these energies that's coming through. It's like stepping away from all of the negative self-talk or the doubts and the things that come up and kind of are perpetuating cycles in your life, and it's more of getting a grip on what it is that you have going on internally and carving a path through that. So make sure that you really just grab a hold of life this month. That's the only way that you can really create the things that you want. It's not about force. It's just about being intentional. And I think that's something that's coming up for a lot of people this month, and you are no exception. So be mindful of your language, be mindful of what you're telling yourself, be mindful, and be willing to make a shift wherever is necessary for you to create the reality that you desire. Okay, now we're moving into the timeline. If you're new to my channel, I do a timeline. This is going to be where you start off the month of December, the first quarter / week-ish, second, third, and fourth quarter, so that'll be where you end the month of December. So the first quarter coming up, we have wisdom. Your divine inner wisdom is always available to you. Yes, remember that it's like being on earth isn't about like learning all these horrible lessons. No. It's about remembering things. It's about remembering your power. It's about remembering the way that you create the things in your life. And that is just an extension that is, or not an extension, it's something that's really potent at the beginning of December. Like I think you're going to really be able to consciously see how your energetics are kind of being reflected to you. And quarter two, faith. Spiritual faith is a devoted assurance of the heart. Yes, it totally is. The more faith that you have in something that is working for you, and I really can't stand all the spiritual principles that people rub in people's faces, like, you know, oh, you just have bad luck or bad karma, or, you know, that there's going to be like a punishing consequence on something. Like, that drives me absolutely batty. The faith needs to be in yourself, like in your abilities, in your heart, in your goodness, in your power. That's where the faith comes from. It's not something that it's like nothing is forcing you or pushing you or punishing you or anything like that. So kind of bring the energy back to yourself and find a way to get clear on your creations. Third quarter, we have future. Direct your intentions and actions wisely, and your future will be fed with fulfillment. What have I been saying during this entire reading? Direct your intentions and actions wisely, and your future will be fed with fulfillment. So you have to be highly conscientious of where your energy is going, because that is going to communicate what comes next, or it's going to help manifest whatever comes next. And the fourth quarter, or how you wrap up the month, nurturing. Keep your inner child nurtured and you will thrive with vitality. This is reminding you, again, the central energy is the Ace of Chalices, and so this is reminding you that's not a time, it's not a time to like slack off. It's a time to be consistent with how you're taking care of yourself and paying attention to the needs that arise. All right. So now we're going to do a 3-card pick. Don't forget, you are welcome to use this reading for whatever you want. You can ask a question. It can just be advice. You can have as many or as, you know, pick as many or as few cards as you'd like. This is your reading. All right. First card popping up. 8 of Pentacles. It takes work. It takes effort. It takes application. This isn't something that's just, oh, super easy. Oh, it's just a light switch that I turn on and off. It's a practice. All of this is a practice. And I know you guys hear me say that a lot, but it's true. Let yourself have a little bit of slack when you fudge up. Like, just be a little bit more fluid in that. And it's actually going to help you progress further and get more work done rather than just bullying yourself and getting stuck in a rabbit hole. Let yourself just do your best. And then card number 2, we have the, we'll call it the Page Wands. So again, this is really focusing your attention towards what are you communicating? What are you communicating in what you say yes and no to? What are you communicating verbally? What are you communicating in your behavior? What are you communicating in your boundaries? That is where the answers are going to come from, is what are you communicating, especially if it's tied to a belief. So people forget this has nothing to do with spirituality. Just for a moment, it's straight mechanical psychology. If you are expecting something, then you are more likely to behave in a way that kind of evokes that response from your environment or from people. So be highly conscientious of what you're communicating. And card number 3, we have the 7 of Swords. It's like moving on and breaking free. Like, what are you breaking free of? What are you vowing to do differently moving into the new year? Because again, this is a really great time to set intentions, and if you can do that for yourself, then it looks like you're going to be in a really good position. But it's kind of like you have to let something go. You have to intentionally create some space for yourself in order to get the desired results. All right, so that is all that I have for you, Gemini. Thank you so much. Don't forget, check out my website, all the new stuff that I have on there. If you'd like to support the channel or leave some feedback, if you have ideas or questions, or you just want to show some love and support, you're welcome to check out the links in the description box below. All of the names of the decks that I've used today are in the description box below, and everything else that you need is in the description box below. So thank you again for liking, sharing, subscribing, and following me on Facebook and Instagram. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will talk to you all later. Have a good one, Gemini. Bye-bye.